It is day 13 of 30 cups in 30 days. Let's see what we get. We're going to go with this one. Ooh, the tall cup. Day 13. Here we come. Ooh, I suppose I should show you what I'm doing. Try that again. Here we go. If I had had better sense. I teach music full time right now. Elementary music. I should have waited until school was out. I still have school until next Thursday. So we're in the last stages of stuff, and boy, keeping up with 30 cups in 30 days, it's turning out to be harder than I expected. This can get centered a little wider because the base is actually a little wider. Let me show you. My hands are filthy. The base, I hate when I get stuff all over. The base is a little wider than the top, so we're going to center it a little wider and lower, even though it's a fairly tall cup. Okay. Try and put as much clay as we can in this, a little bit more than a pound, because that's a tall cup. And I would like it to be a little tall. All right, so I'm gonna do that. Sorry about that. My arm getting in the way. And then this piece, it's kind of cone shaped, so I'm gonna aim at keeping the top narrower than the bottom, because that's literally what we want. Is the top is gonna be narrower than the bottom. Okay, maybe not that much narrower. You gotta stick your hand inside. And it makes it much, much wider. Alright. Okay, so the bottom is not quite wide enough, but also I'm going to cut off this little flange thing here that I don't like, so that we can widen out the bottom a bit. Alright, that goes there. I'm going to find my yellow rib. I really ought to figure out how to keep things separate in my bucket, but I don't know how. Alright, so we're going to blend in this little rim here, and then we're going to get my hand wet so I do not have the cup sticking to it. So we're going to flare it out here a bit. Probably want it even more flared out than that. So push it out from the bottom. And push it in at the top. Alright. I would like it even a hair flared out more than that, even a little bit at the bottom. Inside, I am almost pulling the wall against my rib. Okay, so then I'm going to narrow the top. I'm going to pick a spot about halfway down and start collaring in. I want these walls pretty straight up and down. There's not, in my sketch, there's not, let's see, I want a little more out down here. That's nice. And then I'm gonna go in, and then I'm actually, ooh, it's kind of collapsing. It's very wet inside. Let's dry that out. I mean, I'm going a little thin. Happens occasionally, right? Okay. Clean that all up. Then I'm gonna take a wooden rib because my walls are not pleased, and I'm gonna make them straight up and down. Well, not straight up and down, but pushing in at the top, but relatively straight in the going in part. And I think I'm gonna trim off the top just a little bit. This is another quick one. It doesn't take. It's not a very difficult shape, basically. There's that. Probably should be a little bit taller, so I'm gonna pull up this top bit some more. we've been collaring in, so it's a little thicker, so we can kind of pull some of the extra clay up that we have pushed into the walls as we collared. Maybe even a little more than that, jeepers. Okay. Feels like it should be even taller than that. It also feels like I'm a little high up here, so I'm actually going to push this in just a hair. I think it kind of came out too far. Maybe even a little more than that. And then we're going to go back and we're going to pull some more. A little more height here. I think this is just going to be a little shorter than I was sort of picturing in my head. It's okay. These are just my sketches, so they turn out a little bit different. That's okay. Ooh, I just knocked it off center. Don't do that. Okay, I think that is about as good as it gets. Although I do feel like it should be a hair taller. I don't think I can make it much taller. I could go in more, but I don't hate the shape, and it's sort of pretty similar, so we're just going to go with that. All right.